Imagine moving into like a beautiful new apartment, right? But you have this notoriously volatile roommate who constantly threatens to burn the place to the ground.
Right, just a terrifying roommate to have.
Exactly. But in exchange for all that daily anxiety, this roommate pays all your rent. They stock your kitchen with literally the greatest food on earth. And somehow, they make you the life of the party.
That is honestly the most accurate way you could possibly describe it.
Well, welcome in. I am so incredibly thrilled you're here with us today for this deep dive because we are heading straight to Catania, Sicily.
Yeah, a city that is built quite literally on the edge of destruction.
Yeah.
But despite that, or maybe because of it, it possesses this unmatched, almost defiant vitality.
Absolutely. So our mission today, right, is to figure out how a place living in the permanent shadow of Mount Etna, which is Europe's most active volcano, by the way, channels all that chaotic energy.
A lot of energy.
It is. How do you build a daily life, an economy, and a world-renowned culinary scene on top of a ticking time bomb? And, what does that actually do to the psychology of the people who live there?
Well, you really can't grasp the identity of Catania without first understanding the physical mechanics of Mount Etna. I mean, we aren't just talking about like a scenic mountain in the background.
Oh, right.
Etna is a massive 3,300 meter active stratovolcano.
Let me stop you right there, actually, because I always hear that term stratovolcano thrown around.
Yeah.
What makes that practically different for the people living underneath it compared to, I don't know, other volcanoes?
Yeah, so it's a crucial distinction. A stratovolcano is essentially this steep conical mountain, right?
Yeah.
And it's built up by many alternating layers or strata of hardened lava, pumice, and ash.
Oh, so it's like a layer cake of destruction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because of how the magma mixes with the gases inside, they don't just, slowly ooze lava. They are highly explosive. They're unpredictable. Yeah, Etna is constantly breathing, venting steam, and frequently projecting rocks and ash literally miles into the sky. It's a very loud, very visible neighbor.
Which raises the really obvious question. I mean, why stay? If I'm a farmer in ancient times or even today, why build my life somewhere that could literally pave over my house?
Right. Well, it's because of the unparalleled fertility that comes with that destruction. What's fascinating here is the specific chemical makeup of that volcanic ash.
Okay.
When Etna erupts, it blankets the surrounding land in basaltic ash, which is incredibly rich in minerals. We're talking magnesium, iron, potassium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and over time, that ash breaks down and creates, honestly, some of the most nutrient-dense soil on the planet.
So the volcano is basically acting as this massive natural fertilizer cannon.
Exactly. And that soil composition is the entire foundation of Catania's agricultural economy. I mean, it's why you have these unbelievably lush citrus groves and pistachio orchards.
Which are amazing, by the way.
Oh, the best. But more importantly, it completely defines the local wine industry. The highly sought-after Etna DOC wines, they rely on local grapes, like the Nerello Mascalese.
Right. And I was reading about how those vines essentially have to, struggle through the volcanic rock to find water, which actually concentrates the flavor.
Yes, exactly.
You are literally tasting the minerality of the mountain in the glass.
You really are. But, the volcano's influence isn't just in the soil. It is the literal building block of the city itself.
How so?
Well, as you walk through Catania, you'll notice the streets and many of the foundations are paved with black basalt.
They literally extract the cooled lava flows and, carve them into paving stones.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, I always assumed this was just making the best of a bad situation, using whatever rocks were lying around.
A lot of people assume that, yeah.
But when you actually look at the architecture, it feels much more intentional than that. You have these dark, rough volcanic foundations set directly against pale, ornate limestone monuments like the Porta Garibaldi.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it is a deliberate architectural statement. It's this daily, physical reminder that the city is forged from the exact same force that threatens to destroy it.
Wow. So it's not just pragmatic.
No, not at all. It isn't just a pragmatic use of materials. It is an aesthetic of survival.
It's like they're daring the mountain almost. They are paving the streets they dance on with the weapon used against them.
That's a great way to put it.
And that kind of baked-in resilience, I mean, it has to seep into the psychology of the city, right? Because nowhere is that more intense than in how they practice their faith. We really have to talk about the Cathedral of St. Agatha.
Yes. The spiritual devotion in Catania is a direct byproduct of their physical vulnerability.
Yeah.
I mean, St. Agatha is the patron saint of the city, And the local reverence for her is deeply intertwined with the terror of Mount Etna.
Right, there's a specific event, wasn't there?
Yeah, there is a very powerful local tradition dating back to 252 AD. So a massive eruption occurred, and the lava flow was barreling directly toward the city walls. Completely. And the locals, just out of sheer desperation, brought out the Saint's Veil and held it up, facing the lava.
And the flow stopped.
That is the tradition, yes.
Yeah.
It halted just in time, sparing the city.
Wow.
So ever since that exact moment, St. Agatha hasn't just been, a religious figure. She is viewed as the ultimate active protector against the volcano's fury.
Okay, I understand the historical reverence there, but let's talk about the modern logistics of this because it's wild. The festival of St. Agatha takes place mostly from February 3rd to the 6th, right? It is recognized as the third largest religious festival in the world. It draws 1 million people.
A staggering number.
I mean, I have to wrap my head around this. Catania has a population of roughly 350,000? Having 1 million people show up is like hosting the Super Bowl, the Olympics, and a royal wedding in your neighborhood on the exact same weekend.
It really is.
How does the infrastructure not completely collapse?
Well, it survives through sheer coordinated passion and honestly, an incredibly rigid traditional structure. I mean, what's fascinating here is that this festival is officially recognized as an ethno-anthropologic patrimony.
Meaning what exactly? Because that sounds like a very heavy academic label.
Yeah, it does. Basically, it means it has transcended being merely a religious service. It is recognized as a core piece of human behavioral heritage.
Oh, I see.
It's this intricate blending of solemn religious devotion with a massive, highly organized folkloric street celebration.
Yeah.
And the logistics, they're managed by specific historical guilds.
Like the bakers, the butchers.
Exactly. The merchants, all of them.
And these guilds, they are the ones responsible for the candelor, right?
Yes, the candelor. So these are the 13 massive towering wooden structures that resemble giant, incredibly ornate candles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they're decorated with flowers, flags, statues depicting scenes of her martyrdom. But the key thing to understand here is their weight.
Right, they're not light.
No, they weigh hundreds of kilograms, and they are carried through the narrow, packed streets by teams of men.
Wait, not wheeled, carried.
Carried directly on their shoulders.
That is insane.
And alongside them, you have thousands of devout followers, and they're wearing traditional white sackcloths, black berets, and white gloves. And they're pulling the furculo, which is this massive silver carriage holding the saint's relics.
Wow.
It goes on from dawn until late into the night. It is incredibly grueling.
That's what strikes me. It is an endurance event. It really feels like the physical toll, the exhaustion, the heavy lifting, navigating those packed basalt streets. It's a proxy for their faith.
Absolutely.
But, my favorite detail about this entire festival is how they process that intense devotion and, frankly, the historical trauma of her martyrdom. They process it through food.
Oh, the culinary connection is fascinating.
It is. You go into literally any bakery in Catania during this time, and you find the cassata di santaita, which are these little ricotta-filled pastries explicitly shaped like breasts.
Yep. Topped with a candied cherry.
Right. Which, yes, is a direct, slightly dark reference to the specific tortures St. Agatha endured. But they process that dark history by turning it into this beautiful communal pastry.
It's a very Sicilian way to handle tragedy.
Totally. And then there are the olivettes, right?
Mm.
The green, olive-shaped almond paste sweets honoring the tree that supposedly sheltered her.
Exactly. It really demonstrates how history in Catania isn't abstract. It is something you literally consume.
Yeah.
Which seamlessly brings us to the economic engine of the city today. In Catania, preserving traditional food is treated with the exact same reverence as protecting the saint's relics.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Sicily is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to food pedigree. The region boasts 67 different PDO or PGI agri-food products. And actually, I want to pause here for a second.
Sure.
Because we see acronyms like PDO on olive oil bottles at the grocery store all the time. But what does that actually mean for the local economy there?
So, PDO stands for Protected Designation of Origin. And it is essentially strict intellectual property law, but for food. It means that a product, let's say a specific Sicilian cheese or, an Etna DOC wine, can only legally be produced in that exact region. And it has to be using traditional methods and local ingredients.
So you can't just fake it somewhere else.
Right. You cannot legally open a factory in another country mimic the recipe and call it the same thing. It guarantees the terroir.
So it's basically a legal shield against knockoffs.
Yes.
And tourists are seeking that out specifically. There is this really fascinating academic paper analyzing culinary tourism in Catania.
Oh, the TripAdvisor study.
Yes. The researchers looked at thousands of TripAdvisor reviews, and they found that a massive 35.8% of the feedback from visitors focused purely on the sensory experience of tasting the local food.
That's huge.
Right. Not the price, not the customer service, but the sheer flavor and authenticity of the dishes.
Yeah, that data point is incredibly significant. I mean, in standard tourism analysis, reviews are usually dominated by complaints about long lines or, hotel amenities.
Exactly, like the AC was broken.
Right. So when over a third of your tourists are logging on specifically to write about the sensory profile of a plate of pasta, it proves that culinary authenticity is the primary economic driver of the city.
I mean, when you look at what they are eating, it completely makes sense. You have the arancino, the iconic fried drop-shaped rice ball stuffed with meat ragu. And I learned that this wasn't just invented as a tourist snack, right? It was originally engineered as a highly durable, portable food for laborers working in the fields. The rice shell was essentially natural Tupperware.
Exactly, form following function.
Then you have pasta alla norma, honoring the Catanian composer Vincenzo Bellini. And, I really want to talk about the granita with brioche.
Oh, you have to.